I knew more or less what I was getting into with this film. I was only watching it in the first place because I wanted to see something with Pacino in it. I knew it'd be some useless, unmemorable movie, but sometimes you just want to watch your favourite actors in action again, even if they're way past it and are phoning it in. Plus, Karl Urban's in it. But what really takes the cake is when you watch a film for one specific actor, knowing that the film itself will be rubbish, but it turns out that that actor is actually the worst thing about the film. I'm sorry to say it, but Pacino in The Hangman looks like he's about to slip and fall right into his grave at any second. He looks so old, way too old for some of the stuff that happens to him in this film. And his acting is really weird. I don't know what accent he was trying to do. He was kind of giving it this, yeah, I'm from Texas, whilst also kind of sounding like he was from the hood at the same time. It was really bizarre. And his voice is really starting to go. There were a few scenes where he needs to shout, and he emits this high-pitched shriek, this kind of which made me feel a bit sorry for him. In addition to this, in every scene the guy looked like he just woke up seconds before the camera started rolling. And what is it with this leather jacket? Is it me or has he worn the same leather jacket in almost every film he's been in the last 10 years? So now we've gotten out of the way the only reason I watched the film turned out to be a crushing disappointment. On to the rest. Hangman concerns two detectives, Urban and Pacino. Pacino having come out of retirement for this job, tried to track down a dude who is hanging people on a noose around town, and then leaving a graffiti hangman figure with a word next to it, missing out letters, on a nearby wall or something. Yes, people, like the children's game. For some reason he hangs a new person at 11 PM every day, so naturally our dynamic duo work around the clock to make sure he doesn't get a chance to kill his next potential victim. Wait, is that what I just said? No, what I meant was they sit around on their asses in the office drinking coffee before some timely placed dramatic music reminds them to look at the clock, and shock horror, it's almost 11. Time to get up and do some detective work. Long story short, this film does not deserve your time at all. It's bottom of the barrel, only getting a minute amount of recognition because of who's in it. It's just dull, lacks an ounce of creativity, and just bobbles along at a meandering pace. I was shocked at the lack of drama or energy. There's one scene, for example, where the two walk into a house and they see someone they know strung up, choking, fighting for their life, and they're like, oh look, there's that person, better go help. And they literally amble across the hallway during their heroic rescue. Much of the movie doesn't make a lick of sense. The cops regularly find we'll use the word clue here lightly, and the clue vaguely, potentially might be linked to a location of some sorts where another victim might be being strung up, but it really is a massive stretch. But the cops act like they've solved a Rubik's Cube and charged to their next destination, where of course it's found that they were correct and a victim is being found struggling for their life. So the interesting bits of this film isn't in the acting, it isn't in the detective work, it definitely isn't in the reveal of the killer in the end of the film. It's nothing. The film isn't interesting at all. There's no need to flatter the movie by spending this much time on it, and it would be a solid 4 out of 10 for me. I say solid 4 like that's a good thing, but at least it would have put the film in the yellow zone of my ratings. But it doesn't get a 4 because they couldn't just even let the film finish off by letting it have its boring conclusion. Oh no. You know how at the end of some shitty slasher movies, once they've chopped off the bad guy's head and buried him, and he definitely is dead, and then in the last second of the movie the protagonist goes to bed or something, and then the boogeyman says surprise and jumps out of the closet or from underneath the bed, and then the film cuts to black? Yeah, this film goes down that route. So that just knocked a point off straight away, giving Hangman a 3 out of 10.